It's a high, deep drive into left field, and this ball is long gone. Safe, he got under the tag.
One hop the wall and it lands for a double.
Want to ride into deep left field, and this ball is gone. Falmouth is going to the Western Division Final. Welcome to game 44 of 44 here in the regular season in the 2019 Cape Cod Baseball League. Falmouth Commodores and Wareham Gatemen know their opponents. They know the time and place that they'll be playing tomorrow. But they still have one more game to play here in the regular season. David Korzanowski joined alongside my broadcast partner, Danny LaRose. And Danny, this game doesn't mean a whole lot, just keeping the legs loose and looking forward to tomorrow.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is, and I'm sure the Doors would tell you that they take it one day at a time. They're just going to have fun today, and you don't want to look ahead too much towards the next day because you don't want to overlook any opponent. You don't want to let that become kind of a character trait of your team, is that you start looking ahead towards what's next because, what if by all means, God forbid they win game 1 against Bourne and then game 2, they start thinking, oh, well, who's next, and then you end up dropping that game. That's the type of thing that you want to avoid. So I'm sure in game 44, even though it might not mean that much, they're still coming into it thinking, all right, going to play another baseball game. That's all this is.
It's an unconventional lineup for the Falmouth Commodores. Leading off is Austin Maisel. He's playing second base. Blake Dunn in the 2-spot playing center field. Jackson Coots, after a 3-hit day yesterday, will be batting third, playing first. Barron Radcliffe in the cleanup spot, playing right field. Taylor Smith, the catcher for the Commodores, he's out in left, batting fifth. Steven Moretto's the DH, batting sixth. Tyler Ross is playing the hot corner. That's something we haven't seen before. Matt Nelson catching, batting eighth, and Max Ferguson playing shortstop. First pitch from Easy into Maisel is a strike right down the middle. Calling the balls and strikes, Ryan Damari. At first base, Larry Rosenberg. At third, Rich Gaetani. Second pitch from the right-hander, blown right by Maisel, 0-2. Kevin Easy, a rising sophomore at Penn. He's up no balls and 2 strikes to Maisel. He delivers again. Broken bat flare shot, 1 hops at second base, fielded and thrown on to first by Matt McClain. There's 1 down.
So you talk about how Falmouth has a very interesting defensive alignment,
Yeah.
seeing new faces in new places. How about Wareham as well? They're sporting Durkay, who's a recent addition, out in right field. He's listed as a catcher. And then you've got Chad Stevens, also listed as a catcher, playing shortstop. A lot of times you can see catchers be outfielders as well. That seems to be the position that correlates, but I don't ever remember a catcher also being a middle infielder.
Easy's got some giddy up on the fastball. He misses with 1 to start off the count to Blake Dunn. The Commodores will take on the Bourne Braves tomorrow at 6 p.m. at Gov Fuller Field. The Wareham Gatemen will be right here at home to take on Katuitt. Falmouth winning the West Division this season with just 14 losses right now compared to 27 wins and 1 tie. 2 balls start off the count to Dunn. It's 2-0. Easy's working quickly. He delivers. There's a strike right down the middle, 2-1. Three balls and 1 strike. And that is a strike at the knees, a late call from Damari, and now a full count.
Yeah, really late call. That top strap on Blake's shin guard was already off. He had already gotten halfway through, taken off his shin guard, was ready for the batting gloves next, and all of a sudden, it's a strike call.
Payoff pitch from Easy. Right-hander working from the windup as he chomps on some gum. And this one is low and outside for ball 4. A little bit of a pause from Dunn before he takes his base, and he's aboard with 1 out.
Blake's been walking a lot more recently. Just yesterday in game 1, he walked twice, and those were his first walks in his last 8 games. A guy who leads the team in walks, and when he's getting on base, he can always do something with all that speed. So you want him getting on base in any way he can.
Easy's working from the stretch. This is a hard shot out into center field. There is Antico. He makes the catch, 2 down. We know Jackson Coots likes to swing a lot at the first pitch. He goes down for out number 2.
Yeah, I love that approach from him. He always gets a really good pitch to hit, and he always puts on great contact. We saw him ground out into a couple of slow rollers to first base yesterday against some pitchers who were throwing about 50 miles an hour. Typically, we see that from him. Hard shots, and unfortunately, in that time around, it goes right to a fielder.
Barron Radcliffe's batting cleanup, playing right field. 247 average, 4 doubles, 6 home runs, and a triple. Fly ball will move out of play for Del Castillo, the catcher. Lands amongst some fans here at Spillane Field. 0-1. So Radcliffe, if I remember correctly, had a double, a triple, and a home run in the doubleheader yesterday.
I've got my scorecard on me. Let me find it.
I remember he went
Which
yard.
game?
I remember he went yard. Oh, no, the triple was 2 nights ago at Katuitt.
Yeah.
Radcliffe's been swinging a hot stick lately, though. Now alone atop the RBI category for the Commodores with 22. He watches a ball downstairs. 1-1 now the count.
All right, what you need, game 1 or game 2?
I'm saying across both games.
All right, well, game 1. Barron a home run.
Ground ball. This is fielded on the shift by the shortstop, Chad Stevens, and that is the third out. So Jerry Weinstein plays the matchup and gets the third out. Would have been a single up the middle, but Stevens was right behind the bag to field it cleanly. Commodores score no runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base as we head to the bottom of the first inning on the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
The Falmouth Commodores would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
Baseball Factory, a proud partner of the Cape League since 1994, holds over 1,000 events nationwide for players in both high school and middle school, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Baseball Factory alumni have played on every Division I college program across the nation, with thousands drafted and more than 500 who have made it to the majors. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and software development. Online at www.curry.edu.
Back for the bottom of inning number 1 and a new pitcher for the Falmouth Commodores. It is Kenny House from UConn.
Kenny House, a rising senior with the Huskies in Connecticut, originally from Ranchos Palos Verdes, California. That's up in those Hollywood Hills. He is a transfer from El Camino College, and his El Camino statistics wowed me incredibly.
Yeah.
Went 10-2 in 16 games started as a sophomore in 104 innings of work, a 2.77 ERA, and 98 strikeouts. Talk about a workload at JUCO. And then at UConn this past year, went 2-1 with a 5.74 ERA, 9 walks to 25 Ks. So it took a little bit of a dip in the earned run average, but still had that strikeout number high.
First pitch is a strike that's swung on and fouled back by Braden Ward. Batting order for the Wareham Gatemen. Ward leading off, playing left. Matt McLean, all-star MVP for the West Division. Second base, batting second. Jacob Teeter, the everyday 3-man, is playing first base and batting third. Ball misses low. Cleanup man is Pete Durkay, a recent addition from the University of Tennessee. He's playing right field. Third pitch, lofted into shallow left center. Blake Dunn moving in. He's got the sun in his eyes, and he makes the catch on the run for out number 1. Get you the rest of that batting order. Adrian Del Castillo, the catcher, batting 5th. Matt Rudick in the 6th spot, designated hitting. Trey Lipscomb, Mike Antico, and Chad Stevens round out the order at third base, center field, and shortstop for Stevens. House activated after the game last night. One of a few recent additions for the Commodores as they make their postseason run. There's a high fastball that swung on and missed from Matt McLean. McLean, a UCLA Bruin, whose teammate Kevin Kendall just headed back home yesterday. The 0-1, off speed, in there for a strike, 0-2.
McLean has been struggling recently, 1 for his last 11. Has 3 strikeouts in his last 7 at-bats and is looking at one right now.
The 0-2, nice stop by Nelson, who's the backstop for House. Infield for the Commodores, as we mentioned, relatively unorthodox. Coots over at first, that doesn't sound too bad, but Austin Maisel at second base, Max Ferguson at short, and Tyler Ross at third. High fastball misses to make it 2-2, and then the outfield, Taylor Smith out in left, Blake Dunn in center, Barron Radcliffe in right. It'll be interesting to see how the Doors do in a game 44 that doesn't mean a whole lot. Here's Smith with his first fly ball, and it's going to go off the wall. He fields it cleanly, throws into second base, and a stand-up double for Matt McLean. That's quite the arm from Smith out and left.
Well, we've seen it from behind the plate, and we've seen it at the pitcher's mound that Taylor Smith has a little bit of a cannon. Yesterday, he threw 2 pitches, got the final out of the 7th inning against Katuitt. He was firing at about 88 miles an hour. And then this one, the fly ball off the wall, the way he tracked it looked like it was going to go up and over the wall. Kind of looked up and started trotting. And I think that just might be Smith not being used to playing left field. It's been a whole summer for him, and I'm sure even longer since he's played out in the outfield. So with a little bit of an awkward track to it, but he got there in the same amount of time it would have taken anybody else.
House working from the stretch, rears back and fires a first pitch strike to the tall left-handed batter, Jacob Teeter. Stands at 6'6". House, on the other hand, just 5'10". Long look into Matt Nelson. Teeter with a 3.01 average, 5 doubles, a triple, and 2 home runs. Here's the second pitch to Teeter. It's also a strike at the knees.
Beautiful off-speed pitch.
House wearing number 6 for the Doors, as my partner mentioned. Going to be a senior next year with the Yukon Huskies, so he's a teammate of Caleb Worster. Spent his first 2 seasons at El Camino College. He's from out west in California. After a long look back, he delivers the 0-2. Breaking ball outside, 1-2. Doors fresh off a doubleheader yesterday, which they split against the Katuitt Kettleers. They won game 1, 7-2. Lost game number 2, 13-2. Wareham, on the other hand, shut out the Bourne Braves 4-0 in their second to last game of the season. The 1-2 swung on a miss, dropped by Nelson. He will mosey out and throw over towards first base for the second out.
I know we talk about it a lot in the beginning of the summer, but this is probably the best example of it, of a pitcher arriving and a catcher not really knowing each other at all. House, a guy from UConn, and Matt Nelson, a guy from Florida State, so they wouldn't have seen each other at all or worked together at all during summer seasons. They're at very different ages, so they definitely, this is the first time that they're playing with each other. And he just arrived just a couple days ago, was activated last night, very recent addition. It's going to be interesting to see how they are working on the same page.
Doing well so far as a foul ball is lofted back towards Wareham High School here at Spillane Field. This is our 4th road trip out to Wareham, but just the 3rd game that we're playing. There were 2 rainouts, a doubleheader, and now a matchup here on August 1st. Doors and Gatemen, 2 of 6 teams that are playing tonight. The 0-1 from House. Slapped down the first base line, but foul, 0-2. And something that House is doing very well right now is firing quick strikes. He's gotten ahead on the last 3 batters, 0-2.
He's keeping everything low. That's why we've seen a lot of ground balls.
Doors wearing their road blacks with the gray pants, maroon lettering, black hat, and the maroon F. Wareham, on the other hand, the home whites with the maroon Gatemen across the front. This one golfed into shallow left field. Long track for Taylor Smith. Sliding and he can't make the catch. Coming in to score is Matt McLean. It's 1-0 on an RBI single from Durkay.
Poor Taylor Smith getting a couple of tough balls hit towards him in this inning in his first appearance in the outfield all summer long. The first one from McLean, a double over his head that he had no chance on when it went off the wall. This for Durkay was just a shot into no man's land, and you might think that a guy who's more familiar with left field would have been able to get there, track it down, maybe who has a little bit more speed than Smith. But again, just kind of falls in between everybody into no man's land. That's another one that you just can't do much if you're an outfielder.
First pitch to Del Castillo is low and outside for ball 1. 263 hitter on the summer, 7 doubles, 4 home runs, 20 RBIs. Wareham's offense has been stymied ever since the Doors have last been here, back on July 17th for that doubleheader. Rears back and fires a fastball that's back into the screen in front of the John H. Wild press box. House back on the rubber. Right foot on the mound as he lifts his left leg after a couple looks and delivers. Just inside and low, 2 balls and a strike. Falmouth Commodores 5-0 against the Gatemen, and according to people who have followed Wareham closely, we Mentioned it in our pregame show with special guest Jonah Karp. When Falmouth came to town, that was the last time that the Wareham offense really looked as sharp as they did earlier in the season. Ground ball down the first base line, foul.
Yeah, their bats got cold at the worst time, right in the home stretch. They couldn't put together much of a fight against the surging Commodores team to try to retake first place. They do have home field advantage, but I know that they're hoping to fire up those bats once again once tomorrow comes.
They'll take on the Kettleers here at 6:45. Ball skips in the dirt to make it a full count. Cotuit Kettleers season is over. They get a night of rest. 20-20-4 on the summer. And the 3 seed in the West. Running is Durkay. High fly ball into right field. If it stays fair, it is gone. And that ball is crushed. 2-run blast for Adrian Del Castillo, and the Gatemen are up 3-0.
Now Del Castillo's 5th home run of the summer. 22 RBIs for him as well. He was in a little bit of a, I don't want to say a slump because he was working on a 5-game hitting streak, but against the Commodores he always slumped. He was 1 for 14, had 6 strikeouts versus the Doors. They seemed to be the one team that was able to limit him again against the rest of the Western Division. He was red hot, but takes him only 1 at bat to get to the Doors in this ball game.
It was the 3-2 pitch that was blasted down the right field line. First pitch swinging is Matt Rudick. Fouled away. 0-1. Doors trail 3-0 to the Wareham Gatemen. They've had the West Division on lock since Monday. That was after a tie against Hyannis. The 0-1. Ball just outside. They played 1 game against Cotuit on Tuesday, won 6-4 in a comeback. As I mentioned, split that doubleheader against the Kettleers yesterday, and now are against Wareham today. Here's a deep fly out into right field. Radcliffe's at the wall, leaping, and he makes the catch. As he collides into the wall out and right, he comes down with the 3rd out off of the bat of Matt Rudick. Gatemen strike first with 3 in the first inning on 3 hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. To the second we go. It's 3-0 Wareham on the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
The Colossal Lobster Rolls are back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth for the best value for lobster rolls on the Cape. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
What's donated here stays here. All blood that is donated to Cape Cod Healthcare stays on Cape Cod to help the lives of your friends, family, and neighbors. Learn more about donating blood, platelets, or hosting a blood drive at capecodhealth.org/blood center.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod Coca-Cola has been proudly refreshing the community for 30-plus years, and we're honored to support the CCBL and many other wonderful organizations on the Cape.
The Falmouth Commodores would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
Easy back out on the bump after a quick first inning of work, and then 3 runs poured on by the Gatemen in the bottom of the first inning. Taylor Smith, the left fielder, is now up to start inning number 2. He takes a first pitch fastball for a strike on the outside part of the plate. Smith, 179 hitter, but he's got 5 home runs, tied for second on the team. Jack swing, and he takes another strike. It's 0-2.
Yeah, tied for second on the team with those 5 home runs, and all of them came in his first 10 games played. It's been a little while for Taylor, who hasn't gone yards since July 11th.
Here's a fly ball out into left field, fielded on the run, and caught by Braden Ward for the first out. Kevin Easy looking good in his debut on the Cape. No hits allowed through the first 5 batters, and he's issued just 1 walk. Easy just came from the Hamptons League, where he had a 4.98 ERA and a 2-4 record. Over 30 2/3 innings of work. Ball inside, misses to Steven Moretto. designated hitter. Easy working quickly as a swing is sliced back into the screen to make it 1-1. Ground ball, left side, fielded on a backhand by Stevens. Throw back onto first in plenty of time. Nice play by Stevens at short for the second out.
Yeah, really nice play. That was a very hard hit ball from Steven. And, God, I shouldn't have said Steven. Very hard hit ball from Moretto to Stevens, and he had to make a nice backhand. Went down to a knee on the outfield grass, just on the cusp of it, and played a little bit of a skip. Threw on nicely to first. It's a routine 6-3 putout, but it looks really good.
Tyler Ross, the switch hitter, clubs one down the third base line and foul for strike number 1. He's playing third base tonight. We haven't seen him there this summer. 226 average for the switch hitter. 4 doubles, 2 RBIs. Takes a strike at the knees, 0-2. Both of these pitchers keeping balls low right now in the zone. Ross, a two-way player for Falmouth, takes the 0-2 outside. And last time we saw him on the mound, he was exceptional against Cotuit back on Tuesday. 2 perfect innings in the 6th and the 7th, and he got the win. The 1-2 just inside. He shimmies out of the way of the fastball. It's 2-2.
Yesterday he got the start at DH in the game 2 against Cotuit. Went 0 for 2 with a couple strikeouts, so trying to get that bad taste out of his mouth.
Just gets a piece on the foul ball. It was a low fastball that Ross fended off. He's going to be a sophomore next year at Alabama. Had a 255 average last year with the Crimson Tide. Going up against the right-hander, Easy. Swing and a miss, strike 3. He brought the fastball up above the letters, and Ross comes up a strikeout victim. It's the first strikeout for Easy, and it ends the second inning as we head to the bottom of the second on the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
The Falmouth Commodores would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
Baseball Factory, a proud partner of the Cape League since 1994, holds over 1,000 events nationwide for players in both high school and middle school, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Baseball Factory alumni have played on every Division I college program across the nation, with thousands drafted and more than 500 who have made it to the majors. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
What's donated here stays here. All blood that is donated to Cape Cod Healthcare stays on Cape Cod to help the lives of your friends, family, and neighbors. Learn more about donating blood, platelets, or hosting a blood drive at capecodhealth.org/blood center.
Bottom of inning number 2, Wareham on top of Falmouth, 3-0, trying to get their first win of the year against the Falmouth Commodores are the Wareham Gatemen, as Kenny House is back for his second full inning of work. Ran into some trouble with 2 outs in the first. Gave up a single to Durkay, a home run to Del Castillo before finally getting the 3rd out. House, one of 3 pitchers recently added to the Commodores roster, along with Justin Foy from Western Illinois. Strike number 1 at the knees to Trey Lipscomb. And Luke Sutko, who will be transferring to Mercer this coming spring. Second pitch to Lipscomb. He fans on a beautiful pitch at the knees. It's down 0-2.
That's going to be where House has to keep everything. We saw a couple of pitches go above the letters. Both of them go for extra base hits.
The 0-2 hits him on the inside shoulder. Trots down to first base, and House has put the first base runner aboard with nobody out.
So a little bit of growing pains for House. He's already allowed 3 runs, 3 hits, a home run. Now hits a batter when he's ahead of him 0-2. So just some of those minor adjustments, adjusting to the cape, maybe a little bit of jitters.
House looks in. It's his first free pass. He has yet to issue a walk, and that was a hit by pitch on a 0-2 fastball. Here's a fly ball that's going to stay playable for Matt Nelson. He tosses the mask, moves over to his left, and makes a diving catch right in front of the first base dugout. One down.
That was a tough one to track. It was so high in the air that the wind probably pushed it around a little bit. It was directly underneath it. It's always easier to track those fly balls when you're at an angle. He's directly underneath it, so he's going back and forth, swaying a little bit, and finally comes down with it. And like you said, had to dive to his left just in order to wrap it up.
A big out number 1 coming on the first pitch to Mike Antico. Now here's the 9-hitter Chad Stevens. Stevens with a .243 average this summer and 12 RBIs. On first is Lipscomb. Swinging to miss at the off speed, which ducked down below the bat of Stevens. Count 0-1. House with that left leg far in front of his right, now brings it closer. Settles the glove at the belt. Lifts and delivers. 0-1, swung on and missed. Looks like he went in the same spot. It's 0-2.
I'm loving that pitch from him. Looks like a breaking ball. Not sure which because we're kind of at a ridiculous angle, but it's got a little bit of change-up movement.
0-2 to Stevens. Check swing. Did he go around? Appeal down to first. He did. Larry Rosenberg rings up Chad Stevens, and it's a swinging strikeout for the number 9 hitter. 2 down.
Good call by Rosenberg. It was just for a half a second that Stevens went around, but he did. Larry was itching to punch him out. He was looking in, craning his neck that entire time, waiting for them to appeal down to him. He knew the call, and he got it right.
Lipscomb on first with 2 outs. Here's the leadoff man, Braden Ward, who started off the bottom of the first by flying out to center field. Ross playing in on the grass at third. Slice shot over towards the fans here on the third base side. 0-1. Ward just below 300 on the summer, and that's something I noticed, Danny, was a lot of these averages have ducked since the last time the Doors played Wareham.
Yeah, you look at all these guys who were on the All-Star team for Wareham, and just since the All-Star game, it's been offers.
0-1, slapped into center field for a base hit. Blake Dunn fields it on one hop and quickly throws into Ferguson at short. Advances Lipscomb into scoring position. A single for Braden Ward.
Something Braden Ward does so well. He's very much a singles hitter. He's a slap hitter. He gets that one right back up the middle. And now you've got 2 runners on with 2 outs again. We saw the last time that House had 2 outs. He allowed a couple of runs. Actually, all 3 runs came with 2 outs for Wareham. So you can never count this team out.
Matt McLean had the first hit for either side with a double. Takes a strike at the letters and on the outside black. 0-1. Lipscomb on second. Ward on first. Looks back to second base and fires home. Just low. Count even. 1-1. Matt McLean, one of a handful of all-stars here for the Wareham Gatemen, but a couple have since hit the road, including Darren Baker from Cal. High fly ball into right field. Radcliffe ranging over to his right. He camps under it and makes the catch for out number 3. Barron Radcliffe has made a catch out in right field to end the first and now the second. The Wareham Gatemen score no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and they leave 2 stranded. It's still 3-0 Gatemen as we head to the 3rd inning on the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and software development. Online at www.curry.edu.
Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod Coca-Cola has been proudly refreshing the community for 30 plus years, and we're honored to support the CCBL and many other wonderful organizations on the Cape.
For sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit MiltonCat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game. Wareham Gatemen on top of the Falmouth Commodores 3-0 here on the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network. Now we start the top of inning number 3. It'll be hitters 8, 9, and 1 due up for the doors. Matt Nelson swings at the first pitch but fouls it well out of play.
Matty's swinging a hot bat lately. Took him a while. He was 1 for his last 19 a couple games ago. Goes 2 for 2. Now he's 4 for his last 10, and he's looking for more.
Ball hammered out into left center field. Long track for Antico, but he makes the catch on the run. 1 down.
Bummer he had to hit it in such a deep part of the ballpark, right around where the sign says 412, because that was an absolute rocket. Got a really good pitch to hit, put on a great swing. That's the type of swing we've been seeing in the cages from Matt, and he's just starting to put it together, and that's really good news for the Doors.
A cage rat, as Zach Deloach might say.
Yes, I saw him there way before one game.
First pitch strike to Max Ferguson, who started off by playing 2 games yesterday against the Cavaliers. He went 1 for 5 across both of them. This ball is crushed out into deep right field, but Durkay is there, and he makes the catch about 10 feet in front of the wall. So Doors starting to tee it up better against Easy, but just flying out.
Yeah, Commodores are reminding me of the Hyannis Harbor Hawks from a couple days ago, when the first couple of innings, Hyannis against, who was it, had pitched at McKeon Park in that first game of the doubleheader, the starter. But regardless, they were getting some real hard drives into deep in the outfield as Maisel fouls off a pitch, but they were just coming up a little short. And then all of a sudden, a couple innings later, it all clicked for them. Weatherly, yeah. And then it all clicked for them against Mullen when in the 5th inning they hit 3 home runs. So maybe the same can happen for Falmouth right here.
Maisel down 0-1 after a foul ball. Swings at the fastball, belt high, and comes up empty 0-2. He grounded out to second base to start off this game. 356 hitter who got his first home run of the season yesterday against Catuit, and he nearly had a second. Absolutely robbed out in right field. Otherwise, he would have had 2 dingers. Ball about eye level 1 and 2.
Been seeing a lot of home runs in the past couple of games. I think the Cape League is juicing the balls.
Foul ball back into the screen. I say no. I think it's just the fact that the Commodores have been swinging such hot bats. They're up to 33 home runs as a unit. That is 3rd in the Cape League. It's tough to get it out here at Spillane, though, as my partner mentioned. About 420 to dead center. Swing into center field, and it's a base hit for Maisel. First hit of the night for the Commodores.
Austin Maisel is just so comfortable at the plate, it seems like, this summer. He had a 355 average entering this ball game, just under 60 at-bats, and that swing shows it. Down 2 strikes, gets a low pitch down and away. Probably would have been a ball, but it's a little too close to take, so he just kind of sweeps at it. And he's able to line it up perfectly, get great contact thanks to him being able to extend the arms and drive with the hips, and he gets a single out of it.
Blake Dunn walked in his first AB, takes a strike at the knees. Maisel over at first, ups that batting average above 350 on the summer, and he's been here since day 1. Second pitch to Dunn, slapped out into center field, but Antico has some time and makes the catch on the run. 3 flyouts for the Commodores, 1 to left, 1 to right, 1 to center. Maisel singles, but is left stranded, and it's still 3-0 Wareham as we head to the bottom of inning number 3. You're listening to the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
What's donated here stays here. All blood that is donated to Cape Cod Healthcare stays on Cape Cod to help the lives of your friends, family, and neighbors. Learn more about donating blood, platelets, or hosting a blood drive at capecodhealth.org/blood center.
The Colossal Lobster Rolls are back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth for the best value for lobster rolls on the Cape. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod Coca-Cola has been proudly refreshing the community for 30-plus years, and we're honored to support the CCBL and many other wonderful organizations on the Cape.
Bottom of inning number 3 here in game 44 of the 2019 season. The Doors trail the Gatemen 3-0. As Kenny House fires his last warm-up pitches, Max Ferguson applies the tag out at second, throws into Ross at third, who tosses it back to the right-hander, who is out for his 3rd inning of work. He's thrown 36 pitches so far, 26 for strikes, only 10 balls. And looking at my scorecard, he has started out nearly every count up 0-2.
That's the good thing, but then you also think, how come he's not locking down these outs when he's getting ahead so well? And I credit Wareham, great 2-strike hitting from them.
Jacob Teeter struck out swinging his first time up, jumps backwards out of the way of the inside fastball, first ball in the count. Teeter's average has ducked a little bit since the Doors and the Gatemen last squared off. He's at 301. He tees up on this ball. It's out into deep center field. Blake Dunn swivels around and makes the catch for the first out.
Man, I don't know what it is. That Hyannis doubleheader with all the home runs we saw. The last 3 games against Katuitt, again, all the home runs we saw. Katuitt hit a lot of them, and we come to expect that out of them. And now in this game, everybody hitting deep fly balls. It's like everybody's kind of taking batting practice lately, and that's not against the pitchers. That's just, I think, is the players all kind of swinging with uppercuts, seeing what they can do.
Durkay got things going with 2 outs in the first. He singled into shallow left field. 4 hits for the Gatemen and 3 runs. 3 of those hits coming in inning number 1. 1 down here in the 3rd as a looping swing results in a foul ball.
We know that a ton of teams add guys at the last second before the playoffs. Durkay may be the MVP of the last second edition team.
Off speed is a strike letter high, making it 1-2. Easy, the pitcher, was just added. Lipscomb, who's starting today. Durkay, as well as a couple other recent additions in Joe Rock and Joseph Barron.
So Durkay was activated on July 27th. His first game played was July 29th.
Ground ball off the plate and foul.
And then he's played 3 games, now 4, and he has hits in every single game, all 4 games he's played, and he had 3 RBIs in his first 2 games that he played. Just kind of amazing that they add this guy, and he's like, all right, I'm good. Let's do this.
Durkay's going to be a senior at Tennessee next year. Ground ball to the right side. First rep for Tyler Ross at third. Throw across the diamond. Long stretch by Coots, and it just gets past his glove. Durkay is into second base after a close play over at first, and Coots just couldn't squeeze it. The throw was a little bit far away from the line.
It's probably the longest stretch we've seen from Jackson all summer long. He really laid out for that one. Put on a full split almost, and Tyler Ross made a great play on along the line, getting there in time, showing the quick footwork for a guy who doesn't really play the infield, says he hasn't since high school, but he wanted to go play third. He knows he's got the athleticism for it. If the throw was on the money, still would have been a close play, probably would have gotten the out. But a nice slow shot from Durkay allows him to reach anyway.
He's in scoring position as Del Castillo hammers another one out to right field. Radcliffe is tracking. Dunn makes the catch. He throws into third. It's going to be a close play. It hits the back of Durkay as he slides into third base. So it's an F8 and nearly a double play, but just a little bit behind the runner was that throw from Dunn.
Yeah, and Durkay, he doesn't look like he has the most speed. He is listed as a catcher, and I think that goes to show why his latest at bat, that little cue shot up the third base line, just how slow that was to make it such a close play. He gets ruled with a single on it, and Dunn nearly throws him out. on a pretty far throw.
Del Castillo homered and then flew out to center field. Radcliffe had a long way to go, but Dunn was there. 2 flyouts to center. Durkay is now at third with Matt Rudick at the plate. He had a deep fly ball out into right field, which Radcliffe made at the wall to end the first inning. Going back to that Durkay play, it was ruled a single, and then that he advanced to second base on the E5.
I think that's the right ruling.
2 balls and no strikes. Swing at the high fastball. It's lofted back into the parking lot here in Wareham. House has allowed base runners in every inning, but escaped some damage in the second, trying to do the same here in the third. 2 down with a 2-1 count. Here's pitch number 48. Fly ball into left. Long track for Taylor Smith, who is tracking it. It's over his glove. Lands out in left field as Durkay comes in to score the 4th run of the game. And Rudick is into second base. It's 4-0 Gatemen.
I think the Taylor Smith experiment might be over in left field. That's one that he definitely should have had. We saw the first 2 to him. Took a couple of interesting routes to the baseball. Probably wouldn't have come down with either of them, even if it was a everyday left fielder. Saw a double over his head and then a bloop hit, but that one, again, another strange route. Couldn't get the glove up in time. Looked like he mistracked it anyway. Probably should have been out number 3.
Instead, it's 4-0 Gatemen. As Lipscomb takes a strike on the inside black. The ruling from the Cape League scorer is a double. So Rudick moves to 1 for 2, and the Gatemen already have 6 hits against House. The 0-1. Nearly swung on, and a nice stop by Nelson behind the plate. Lipscomb, another Tennessee Volunteer, just added to Wareham. So Max Ferguson to Falmouth, Peter Durkay, and Trey Lipscomb, all coming from down in Knoxville. 1-1, swung on and fouled back. Lipscomb played in just 14 games this year for the Volunteers, had 1 hit for an .071 batting average. That hit came against Austin P., a native of Frederick, Maryland. The 1-2 from House. Ground ball, left side, fielded on a backhand by Ross. Throw across the diamond in time for out number 3. Commodores allow 1 more run on 1 more hit. 2 more hits, 1 error, and 1 runner left on base. It's now 4-0 Wareham as we head to the 4th inning on the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
The Falmouth Commodores would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
Welcome back to Spillane Field in Wareham, Massachusetts for the top of the 4th inning. Danny LaRose joined alongside David Korsanowski. And the Commodores have been playing in a couple of meaningless games these final couple games of the summer. As we've been harping on, the Doors have locked up all that they could achieve in the Western Division and in the Cape, the top seed on the Cape. But how's that going to affect them in the long run? Are they going to be able to reset come playoff time? And to answer that question, we'll bring in our sideline reporter, Katie Florio. Katie.
Thanks, Danny. And like you said, with these past few games honestly not meaning a ton considering Falmouth is locked in with the best record in this entire league. We've seen guys playing all different positions just to give other guys rest going into playoffs tomorrow. So I asked Baron Radcliffe how they make absolutely sure they stay locked in considering the most important part of the year starts tomorrow. He said yes, even though guys are in different positions right now, they're still playing to win these games. It's just that if they don't, it's not the end of the world. Baron also said they know how important tomorrow is, but nothing preparation-wise changes because they've been locked in all season. So they'll continue to go with the same routine tomorrow, and he's very confident in that.
Barron is confident, and I think that restores a little bit of confidence in us as well. 1-1 is the count to Jackson Coots. Swung at a pitch, watched a pitch low, now watches a pitch up above the letters. 2 balls, 1 strike to the first baseman from Rhode Island, who flew up to center his first time up. Now he unloads on one, crushes it into deep center, and Tico is underneath it, and he will make that catch again. Dead central from the doors, but they just can't get it all the 412 feet they need to. It's a second fly out into center field for Coots.
Yeah, a lot of high fly balls, and going back to what Katie said, I definitely agree. I think that that'll serve the Commodores well, keeping that focus. The game day routine still will be a little bit different, though, because we haven't seen them take BP these last few games. They haven't gotten to the field as early. So it should be interesting to see, if the routine changes maybe a little bit.
Ball number 2 now comes in. Both the pitches missing a little bit outside to the man Katie just spoke to, Barron Radcliffe, who grounded out to short his first time up. Swinging a foul ball, makes it 2 balls and 1 strike. The Doors currently losing 4-0 to Wareham. And something else that comes to mind is Jackson Coots was on this Wareham team last year, the defending champions. And he said, we got crushed. We got destroyed in the final game of the season. What? You're shaking your head.
7-6.
Well, he said that they pretty much, got destroyed in there because they were the most dominant team on the Cape easily last summer. 3-1 now the count. And he said that nobody was taking it seriously. Here's a ground ball over towards second base, played off the chest of McLean, but he recovers and throws on to first 4-3 putout. But he was basically saying that nobody cared. They lost the game 7-6. Like, who cares? They weren't really, into it. And then they went on and won 6 games in a row and defeated everybody and shut out, 6-0 in the playoffs and won the championship. So didn't hurt them last year, even though they lost a little bit of focus towards the end of the summer. Here's the first pitch to Taylor Smith as he watches a pitch upstairs. Taylor, so far, slated in left field for the Doors, has seen a couple hit his way, and one that he couldn't corral last half inning that led to a run. Takes a strike on the outside corner, 1-1 to the outfielder.
I've been really impressed with Easy. He's looked awesome on the mound as he fires another off-speed for a strike. Working so quickly, he looks like a Cape League veteran himself.
1-2 now the count to Smith with nobody on and 2 outs. Here's the pitch, a fastball that's cut on and missed, strike 3. The second 1-2-3 inning worked by Easy, and that will do it for the top of the 4th. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. 4-0 Wareham on the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
Baseball Factory, a proud partner of the Cape League since 1994, holds over 1,000 events nationwide for players in both high school and middle school, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Baseball Factory alumni have played on every Division I college program across the nation, with thousands drafted and more than 500 who have made it to the majors. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday.
The Colossal Lobster Rolls are back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth for the best value for lobster rolls on the Cape. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
What's donated here stays here. All blood that is donated to Cape Cod Healthcare stays on Cape Cod to help the lives of your friends, family, and neighbors. Learn more about donating blood, platelets, or hosting a blood drive at capecodhealth.org/blood center.
For sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit MiltonCat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game.
Bradley Littleton will be the new pitcher for the Commodores as we enter the bottom of the 4th inning. So Kenny House's day is done, and it'll be Littleton making his 3rd appearance of the summer.
Yeah, Littleton, the pitcher from Lewis University, right-hander. Probably looking at him to go for about 3 innings. They were looking at House to do the same thing. First appearance, not great, not terrible. 3 innings of work, 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. On the other hand, for the Commodores now coming in as Littleton, last time he was out, 2 1/3 innings of work, gave up 1 earned run on 1 hit. That was a solo shot in a 5-5 ball game. And before that, pitched an inning of work against Orleans, gave up 2 hits and no runs.
He'll get to face the bottom of the order, 8, 9, and then back to the top 1 in this half inning. Wareham has so far scored a run in every single inning but the second. 3 runs in the first, another tacked on in the third. Littleton, the righty from Lewis, has been a great fixture in this Doors bullpen in the final couple of games of the season. Fires a strike right past the swing of Mike Antico. That's something else we were talking about when you think about new players being added, how they're going to impact the team. And so far, Littleton has been one of those guys who's had a very positive impact. Here's the 0-1 to the lefty. It's chopped foul.
Yeah, he came in with Brant Brown, pitcher who is now attending Florida Gulf Coast this coming year. And Brown got a start in a couple appearances in relief. Littleton coming in mainly in relief. And his first outing against Orleans, he gave up some hard-hit balls against Hyannis, that home run.
Line drive up the middle. Ferguson fields it on the outfield grass. His throw to first is not in time, despite a great scoop from Taylor Smith. Smith has now traded places with Jackson Coots, so they move the first baseman to left field, the left fielder to first base, over to some of their more natural positions. That one, an impressive play by Smith, but he just couldn't get the out because Antico had beat it out.
Yeah, it was a pretty good play by Ferguson, too. He just waited an extra beat before he threw that ball, and Antico, just so much speed. We saw it out in center field. He busts down the line in a hurry.
Here's the first pitch to the shortstop, Stevens, in his second at-bat. It's taken high. He struck out back in the second inning. There's now been a base runner who has reached in every single frame for the Gatemen. They're up to 7 hits in only 3 innings. Another pitch misses up and in.
And I like that move, too, with Smith over to first and Coots out to left. We've actually seen Coots in the outfield a couple times this summer, and Smith at first as well. So as you said, more natural positions.
2-0 to the righty Stevens, taken down and away. 3 balls and no strikes. Jackson is listed as an infielder / outfielder. Plays a little bit of it at URI. 3-0 the count. Littleton from the stretch. Kicks and deals. Ground ball to short. This could be 2. Ferguson on to second for 1. Mazel's return to first. In time, a 6-4-3 double play for the first 2 outs of the inning to clear the bases.
Wow, how about that play by the Falmouth Commodores? Nice turn by Mazel. We know that that's one of the toughest things to do as a middle infielder, is to field it and then throw on to first in plenty of time, and Mazel does a good job.
Slight little hesitation. It looked like maybe he had a tough time getting the ball out of the glove from the guy who's normally in the outfield, but he got it onto the first in the nick of time, and he's got a big grin on his face as he pounds his fist into his glove. 2 outs and nobody on base with the single erased from Antico, and Braden Ward, the leadoff man, will get to the plate for the 3rd time in 4 innings. He watches a first pitch strike at the knees.
And how about that from Littleton? Working a ground ball and then helping him clear the bases. That'll help him erase some headaches after the leadoff single from Antico.
The 0-1 to the lefty, taken below the knees. Ward singled in the second inning, flew out in the first. Came into this game 3 for his last 15 and 3 for 19 versus the Commodores. The pitch swings and misses at a low pitch that skipped in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Ward likes to go after that low pitch. We saw it in his first couple at-bats. Legged out a single in the second.
Littleton looking forward again with Nelson set up low, and he gets it. A swing and a miss on another breaking ball that skips in the dirt, and that will retire the side. Bradley Littleton allows a leadoff single, but he erases it with a double play and caps off the inning with a strikeout. We'll head to the top of the fifth. Still 4-0 on the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and software development, online at www.curry.edu.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod Coca-Cola has been proudly refreshing the community for 30-plus years, and we're honored to support the CCBL and many other wonderful organizations on the Cape.
What's donated here stays here. All blood that is donated to Cape Cod Healthcare stays on Cape Cod to help the lives of your friends, family, and neighbors. Learn more about donating blood, platelets, or hosting a blood drive at capecodhealth.org/blood center.
For sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit MiltonCat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game.
Welcome back to Spillane Field in Wareham. Top of the fifth we go on the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network. Danny LaRose, David Korzenowski, pleased that you're joining us on this Thursday evening, August the 1st, a game that was not supposed to occur on this day, but instead had to be rescheduled here, and the Doors are one of 6 teams playing on the Cape on August 1st. Swing and a miss from Steven Moretto, the designated hitter, makes it 0-1.
Yeah, and now none of the games mean anything, to be frank. The only reason that they're playing these 3 games is so that should a team like Bourne, Wareham, or Orleans make the championship, they would know how they stack up versus the team in the other division.
Couple of balls, one misses low, one misses high, and I was just looking at the standings last night thinking to myself, okay, will this actually have an impact after all the games finished? Here's a fly ball into shallow left field. Ward coming in. He'll be called off by the shortstop Stevens. Pop out to short for the first out of the 5th. And you know what? There you have it. I looked at Orleans, and they had, 48 points?
Right.
And I looked at Wareham. They had 48 points. I thought, well, we got to play this game.
Yep, exactly. And there was basically no way that the Commodores would not have to play today.
Yeah. First pitch to Tyler Ross, misses low and outside.
With how Orleans and Chatham were settled. By the way, what a game last night out of Veterans Field. Chatham down 7-4 in the bottom of the 9th.
Ross fouls one off.
Caden Polkovich from Oklahoma State is up with the bases loaded, blasts one out into deep right field, off the wall for a bases-clearing double. It tied the game, and then a bloop single scored the winning run for Chatham, and they locked up the East Division with that win.
2-1 now the count to Ross as the ball skips in the dirt. Yeah, Chatham winning 8-7 over Orleans and putting together 4 runs in the final inning at home. Another foul ball, count even 2-2, which is just so impressive against an Orleans pitching staff that is one of the best on the Cape.
Right.
And a Chatham team that had lost to that point 5 in a row. But Caden Polkovich, the transfer from Northwest Florida State to Oklahoma State, here's a changeup on the outside corner for strike 3 called against Ross. 2 up and 2 down to start the 5th. Polkovich batting .305 for the Anglers. He's been a Firebird killer as well. Went 3 for 3 last night against Orleans, 1 for 3 the day before. Hits in just about every single game he's played against Orleans.
Yeah, that was an exciting series. I mean, they play again tonight, but that, again, the game doesn't mean a whole lot, so you're going to see some unconventional starters like in this game.
Ball misses outside to Matt Nelson, 1-0 to the catcher who flew out to center his first time up. Here's the 1-0 offering, a swing and a miss.
What I was going to say, though, what an exciting way to end the season for those 2 teams.
Yeah.
They play each other 3 times in a row to decide who wins the East. And Chatham, who had lost 5 straight, pull out a walk-off to come out on top.
The 1-1, another swing and another miss. 1-2 now to Nelson. He gave a pitcher a ride in his first AB, but put it to about the deepest part of the ballpark. The 1-2, fly ball again, this time into right field. Durkay has it lined up, and he'll make the catch midway through the outfield. Back-to-back 1-2-3 innings worked by the pitcher easy, and he's looking just fine. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. 4-0 Wareham on the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
Baseball Factory, a proud partner of the Cape League since 1994, holds over 1,000 events nationwide for players in both high school and middle school, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Baseball Factory alumni have played on every Division I college program across the nation, with thousands drafted and more than 500 who have made it to the majors. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
The Falmouth Commodores would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and software development, online at www.curry.edu.
The Colossal Lobster Rolls are back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth for the best value for lobster rolls on the Cape. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
What's donated here stays here. All blood that is donated to Cape Cod Healthcare stays on Cape Cod to help the lives of your friends, family, and neighbors. Learn more about donating blood, platelets, or hosting a blood drive at capecodhealth.org/blood center.
Home fifth for the Wareham Gatemen, who lead the Falmouth Commodores 4-0. It's Wareham with 4 runs on 7 hits. The Doors no runs on 1 hit and an error against them. A little bit of a sloppy game being played by Falmouth, but again, one that is just kind of cursory. Got to go through this one, go through the motions before the real deal starts tomorrow night at 6 p.m. at Gov Fuller Field. The Doors will be taking on the 4th place Bourne Braves. The Gatemen will be taking on the 3rd place Katuitt Kettleers. Couple of series that just in the last couple of days start to look a little bit more competitive. Katuitt playing better, Wareham slumping a little bit, and Bourne is red hot.
Yeah, and I know what we've talked about it a lot, and we've kind of beat it to death a little bit, and I know what the players and the coaches' answers are about how they'll respond tomorrow. But I'm excited for those first 3 innings because they are going to absolutely set the tone. You're going to see Mac Lardner for Bourne, their ace who shut Falmouth down. He pitched 7 innings in that 14-0 win that the Braves had over Falmouth. He's going toe-to-toe with Carmen Majinski, who's a strikeout machine. That'll be a lot of fun.
First pitch is a strike to Matt McLean, who's 1 for 2. And that's exactly my point is that, we talk a lot about, how do you reset your mind? But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to just watching some really good baseball.
Yeah.
That's what we're expecting tomorrow. McLean, fly ball into center field right at Blake Dunn. Ton of fly balls in this game and a ton of flyouts. That one is the first out of the 5th inning. Because Bourne, you may look at their record, think this should be easy money for the Commodores, but they've been a real good team lately. Got shut out yesterday, but the previous 2 games before that, they put up double digits.
Yeah, they beat Wareham by, 14-3?
So, yep.
And then the game before that, they beat Brewster 13-3.
Franco Aleman did shut out the Braves in the game in the start he had against them way back when. First pitch strike at the knees to Jacob Teeter. He's 0 for 2, now facing an 0-1 count.
That's going to be so much fun.
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
0-1 from Littleton. Swing and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes now. First, we got to get through the final half of this ball game. We're through 4 1/2. And once this inning is completed, it will go final. Not that there's any weather in the forecast, but we would have a final game in game 44. 0-2 on the inside corner. Strike 3 called. Went with the fastball. Teeter backed away from it, but he's punched out anyway. First 2 batters are out against Littleton in the 5th.
Yeah, he can't believe it. He had a quick, sharp turn of the head back to Ryan Damari, who's behind the plate. Littleton now with 2 big strikeouts. House, who started off this game for the Commodores, had 2 of his own across 3 innings.
It was a slow start to the game because of Wareham's onslaught of runs, scoring 4 in the first 3 innings, but a clean 4th worked by Littleton as he faced the minimum, and now 2 up, 2 down in the 5th. Ball number 1 comes outside to Pete Durkay. He's 2 for 2, couple of singles and an RBI. The 1-0 to the lefty, just outside, 2 balls, no strikes.
Littleton, great response after that single in the 4th. Worked a double play, strikeout, flyout, strikeout.
I think what goes unnoticed on that double play that Stevens hit into against Littleton, there's a swing and a miss on a big breaking ball, is that he swung at a 3-0 pitch. He got the
Whoa.
green light on
Yeah.
3-0, and he absolutely blew it.
Yeah, I didn't even. That's a very good catch.
Here's the 2-1 from Bradley, who lifts the glove behind his neck and fires home. It's a fastball that just clips the outer edge and right around the knees. A paint job to make it 2-2. Durkay now 5 for 13 on the summer. Just his 4th game being played. He's already at 4 RBIs. The 2-2 misses up and away. The count will run full.
Yeah, how about Durkay? Couple singles, reaching second on an E5, and then coming around to score. He's got half the runs for Wareham.
I mean, this guy deserves to be a starter in the playoffs, the way he's at. Here's the 3-2 from Littleton. It's a breaking ball that Durkay is way out ahead of. Swings real early and fouls it off. Bradley Littleton rocking the stirrups with those black jerseys. They have the black stripe across the white plane. They are a real old school look.
Yeah, so do stirrups actually do anything, or is it just for look?
I think it's just for look. I think
Okay.
they're actually uncomfortable is what I've heard. 3-2 again, fouled away.
Because it's basically like a band under the bottom of your foot, right? And then it kind of expands into a sock, if you will.
And it's already around a sock.
It looks like a, what's the word I'm looking for? No, it's not coming to me.
Littleton still from the windup with nobody on. The 3-2 for the 3rd time is slapped into center field. Another base hit for Pete Durkay. He's 3 for 3, all of them singles.
And that was, I think, the most impressive piece of hitting we've seen from him. He sat back on off speed. He had started his swing a little bit early, but then he kind of holds up and slaps it out into center field. Lands on the center field grass, and the 3rd single of the day for Durkay.
Runner on with 2 outs for the Wareham Gatemen. It's Durkay standing on first base with Del Castillo, who's already got a 2-run homer to his ledger at the dish. He's 1 for 2. Righty-lefty matchup. Littleton fires home with a first pitch fastball that's tapped behind home plate. Adrian Del Castillo, a Miami Hurricane who led the Hurricanes in RBIs this past spring. Had 20 entering this game, has brought it up to 22. That does not lead Wareham, but still a very respectable amount. Oh, 1 misses just a little bit high. Those were his first RBIs in 7 straight games as well. So Del Castillo, one of those guys who's also been bit by the slump bug in these past couple of weeks, but again, like many of these Gatemen, starting to come on. 1-1 from Littleton is a breaking ball. It's foul tipped into the mitt of Nelson. A ball and 2 strikes.
Got to be careful here if you're Littleton. Now you want that punch-out pitch, but Del Castillo has made such good contact today with that 2-run home run on 3-2, and then a deep fly ball out into center.
Durkay leading off of first. The 1-2. Ground ball chopper back towards the mound. Littleton comes off of it, misplays it, and can't scoop it up with his glove on the 2nd try. Del Castillo is going to reach first. Durkay moves into scoring position, and with 2 outs, the Gatemen are putting together a little bit of a rally.
That's the 2nd error of the day for the Commodores. Routine ground ball for Littleton. Sometimes it can be tough to get off the mound, and on those hops, you don't know if you want to field it or wait for it to bounce one more time. Littleton waited for it to bounce one more time, but then couldn't look it into his glove. It went off the end, and then in between his legs, by the time he swiveled around and tried to pick it up, Del Castillo was well on his way to first base.
So Matt Rudick, who had an RBI double his last time up, will now give it a shot with 2 men on. He watches a first pitch strike on the outside corner. Rudick from San Diego State is the DH tonight for Wareham. The 0-1 to the lefty. Fly ball into shallow left field. This one is coming on quick. Jackson Coots giving chase. Won't be able to get there. It falls into no man's land. Durkay's going to score from second base. Del Castillo will stop at second. And on to first with a bloop single is Rudick to make it 5-0 in favor of the Gatemen.
Another tough play for the Doors and tough break for Littleton, as didn't do anything wrong there. It was just a little flare shot into shallow left. Rudick connects for his second hit, and Durkay has now scored 3 of the 5 runs for Wareham.
That'll help. Getting on base as many times as he is, and the guys behind him are knocking him home. That's the second RBI for Rudick, although it was very much a Texas leaguer. Just dropped right into no man's land. Coots is playing pretty far out. Ferguson from short couldn't catch up either. Swing and a miss on the first pitch fastball. Trey Lipscomb goes down 0-1. He reached his first time up with a hit by pitch, was stalled at second, and then grounded out to third.
And that will be an unearned run that the Gatemen just scored, as the error came with 2 outs.
0-1, another swing and a miss on a pitch that completely bottomed out at the knees. Again, Littleton has the potential final out of the inning, down 2 strikes. First 2 times he got there, couldn't get it home. Littleton from the stretch. Looks back towards second, now comes home with the 0-2. Grounded just foul. This is what Wareham has been doing so well this game, is staying alive.
That's what they do well as a team. I mean, they've done it all season. They do not really strike out. When the Doors were playing them earlier in the season, they were league low in strikeouts. Since, they've struggled a little bit more, but they still have 16 less strikeouts than the next team.
Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball that's cut on and missed. Nelson applies the tag to the backside of Lipscomb, and that will finally end the inning. 2-out rally put together by Wareham scores 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 runners left on base. To the top of the 6th we go. 5-0 in favor of the home team.
Baseball Factory, a proud partner of the Cape League since 1994, holds over 1,000 events nationwide for players in both high school and middle school, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Baseball Factory alumni have played on every Division I college program across the nation, with thousands drafted and more than 500 who have made it to the majors. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
The Colossal Lobster Rolls are back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth for the best value for lobster rolls on the Cape. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod Coca-Cola has been proudly refreshing the community for 30-plus years, and we're honored to support the CCBL and many other wonderful organizations on the Cape.
Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and software development. Online at www.curry.edu.
For sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit MiltonCat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game.
Top 6 set to get underway from Wareham. The Commodores currently trailing the second-place Gatemen by a score of 5-0. And a new pitcher is going to come on for Wareham in replace of Easy. It is Michael Webb, the righty from Rhode Island.
6.30 ERA, 1-1 record, 10 innings of work with 11 strikeouts and 2 walks.
Ball misses low to Max Ferguson, the 9-hitter who's leading off.
He's faced the Commodores once. It was an inning of relief in Game 1 of that doubleheader on July 19th.
Soft ground ball up the first baseline, dives foul.
And it was a pretty good inning. No earned runs, no hits. He walked 1 and struck out 1.
Kevin Easy has an excellent start for the Gatemen on this final day of the summer as a ball misses high. He went 5 innings, allowed only 1 hit, no runs, walked 1, struck out 3, and retired the final 7 batters he faced. Fastball for a strike at the knees makes it 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ferguson, the Tennessee Volunteer.
Yeah, the first thing that came to mind when I saw that line from Easy was a performance that a late edition had from from Harwich.
2-2 as a breaking ball swung on and missed. And now the Commodores have seen 8 straight batters go down.
That was John Tehan back in a 4-4 tie against Brewster. He was a recent addition from Mass Maritime. He goes 5 innings of relief and shuts down the Whitecaps, perhaps earning him a spot in a bullpen role in the playoffs.
Bunt attempt from Maisel as it goes the other way off the dugout.
Couple doors saying that was a fair ball.
Yes, we are right above the Commodores dugout, and they never cease to remind us.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. They don't want us here. We don't want to be here.
Maisel, a slap shot into center field. That's good for a dink single. Austin now has back-to-back singles, once in the 3rd, now in the 6th. He's 2 for 3.
Let me adjust what I said. We want to be here. We want to be at the game and broadcasting. We just don't want to be right on top of the team.
I still don't know if they want to be here. Game 44, that does not matter for either of these sides. Commodores just looking ahead towards Friday. But they've got their second hit of the ball game, both of them courtesy of Austin Maisel. He continues to rake. First pitch to Blake Dunn. Bunt popped up right in front of home plate, trickles along the third base line, and the play is made by Adrian Del Castillo. They try to go back to second to get Maisel, who was off the bag, but he dives back in time. How about that play from Del Castillo? Had to be quick with it with Dunn's speed, and he still gets him.
Yeah, that was nuts. Crazy play as it looked like the glove hit the back, or the ball hit the back of Teeter's glove at the same time that Dunn hit that bag. Really bang play. I mean, the definition of that expression as Maisel moves over to second base. He nearly got doubled up, and that would have been the inning.
Jackson Coots, the lefty, fouls one off. He is a lefty from URI, that's the University of Rhode Island. And
Correct.
Webb is a righty from Rhode Island College. 2 separate places. I had to be educated on that recently because I thought that they just listed Rhode Island College incorrectly. Right. 2 outs with Maisel on second. 0-1. Again, fouled away towards the same spot behind home.
So Rhode Island College is a D3 school. University of Rhode Island is D1.
The subtle differences. Fun fact, both are in Rhode Island.
True. Sorry, I missed that one at first.
0-2 to Coots, up and away. I thought you were just giving me the cold shoulder because I honestly deserved it. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jackson. Both of his ABs have resulted in flyouts to center field. Here's the pitch. Misses up and away. Goes past the glove of Del Castillo. And Maisel is going to hang out at second base as it caromed so quickly from the backstop and right back into the glove of Del that Maisel thought better of it.
Yeah, we see some of these shorter backstops and sometimes the bounces. It's here and Duran Park and Bourne that helps out catchers a ton.
2-2 is another wild pitch that skips off the plate and then off the chest protector of Del Castillo, so he keeps it in front of him this time. But the count is nonetheless full. Coots fell behind 0-2, has now worked at 3-2. Webb from the stretch, looks back the runner, now comes home. And he misses high, ball 4. Jackson's going to take first base, and the Doors have 2 men on in the 6th.
Man, how about that? Coots and Maisel continue to get things going. Maisel, temporary player who has earned a spot here into August. 2 for 3. Jackson Coots walks and has a couple deep fly balls.
Pitching coach for Wareham is going to come out for a quick meeting. That's Jim Lawler. Very quick as he is already walking back towards the dugout. Just trying to talk down Michael Webb, who's only thrown to this point 14 pitches, has gotten 2 outs, but has also allowed a hit and a walk. Now we'll have to get past Barron Radcliffe, the right fielder. First pitch to the lefty is taken at the knees for a strike. Barron's last at bat here before, obviously, his first 2 today was that home run in the 8th, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
It was the top of the 8th, extra innings because it was in a doubleheader. Hit a go-ahead 2-run home run that would be the difference for the Doors. Ball misses high to even up the count. Barron now with 6 home runs. Had his first home run at home just yesterday in Game 1 against Katuitt. Webb comes home with the 1-1 offering. It's a breaking ball that misses around the ankles.
Right now, Webb's just got to find the strike zone. First couple batters he faced, he was throwing strikes. Maisel knocks him for a single, but then he gets the quick out to Dunn on the bunt.
His 2-1 is another little bit of an off-speed pitch. Huge hack taken by Radcliffe, but he can't catch up. Looked like he was out ahead of that one right around knee height. Barron on a modest 3-game hit streak. Has hits in 6 of his last 7. Very consistent for the Doors recently. The 2-2 fouled away. He's a rising junior with Georgia Tech, coming off of a sophomore year where he hit 257 and doing similar here on the Cape, right around 247. 2-2 again. Fly ball. This one is shallow in left field. Third baseman Lipscomb ranging back, but coming on in is Ward, who will record the out. And that will do it for the Doors in the top of the 6th. They score no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and stranded 2 runners on base. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th, still 5-0 in favor of Wareham.
The Falmouth Commodores would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
What's donated here stays here. All blood that is donated to Cape Cod Healthcare stays on Cape Cod to help the lives of your friends, family, and neighbors. Learn more about donating blood, platelets, or hosting a blood drive at capecodhealth.org/blood center.
Baseball Factory, a proud partner of the Cape League since 1994, holds over 1,000 events nationwide for players in both high school and middle school, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Baseball Factory alumni have played on every Division I college program across the nation, with thousands drafted and more than 500 who have made it to the majors. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness. For sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit MiltonCat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game.
New pitcher for the Commodores as we enter the bottom of the 6th inning. It's going to be Luke Sutko, the rising junior at Mercer University. David, tell us a little bit about Luke, who's making his first appearance of the summer.
Let's do it. He's wearing number 35. He's going to be at Mercer next year, and he's a transfer from St. John's River State. So
I see the connection.
Yeah, he spent his freshman year down there in Florida with a 4 ERA, a 3-3 record. He was primarily the closer with 8 saves and 36 innings of work. He's a strikeout guy with 41 Ks in 36 innings, a native of Woodstock, Georgia. And coming out of high school, he was a third baseman. St. John's River State coach, as well as the Mercer coach, said that he transformed himself from a third baseman into one of the best sidearm pitchers in the country. So he had a really low arm slot in a couple of his warm-up pitches, not as low as maybe you might expect.
He's pitching from the stretch with nobody on base. I can see the sidearm. He starts out really, really low to the ground and maybe lifts it as he's coming home, comes back straighter. Strike number 1 is fired over the outside part of the plate to Mike Antico. He's 1 for 2. The 0-1, same spot, 0-2.
I know this is the wrong instinct, but when I think of sidearmers, I think of submariners.
No, I think that's right, because most people think that a submariner, or where am I going with this? Strike 3, swing and a miss, a couple of pitches all on the outside corner to Antico, and he's K'd up. So what I always see is someone who throws like 3/4 is people always say he's a sidearmer.
Right.
And someone who's a sidearmer, somebody always says submariner.
Okay.
Is that what you were saying that you sometimes mistake?
Yeah. Well, when I just in my head, when I think of a sidearm pitcher, I think of a guy who's going way down by his ankles and delivering there.
But that's a better frame of reference than most, I think, would have, because again, a lot of sidearmers people think are submariners. Strike number 1, 4 pitches and 4 strikes. This one coming to Chad Stevens. Luke Sutko, another representative from St. John's River. We've seen now 3 guys connected to that school. Chopper towards third base. This will be fielded in fair territory on a backhand by Ross. His jump throw onto first base is not in time. Stevens was well ahead of the throw, and he'll reach with an infield single. St. John's River has produced Brent Brown, who will be moving on to Florida Gulf Coast, Luke Sutko, and they will be receiving Franco Aleman come the fall.
So a few doors in motion, we'll call them.
Yes.
Either on the way in or the way out.
Tricky with those JUCOs. Sutko, another fun fact, born a week before me.
Wow.
September 5th, 1998.
So he'll be a junior next year.
He'll be a junior. I'll be a senior.
So he's going to be an old junior.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Maybe in Georgia it's different.
Gotcha.
Ball 1 comes high to Braden Ward. Either that or I'm a young senior.
You are a little bit of a young senior. It's kind of a fringe. He's on the older end. You're on the younger end.
Fastball knee high, 1-1. I was looking at that a ton in the beginning of the season because it shows up like when they were born.
Yeah.
Troy Clonch is a September baby in '98.
Oh, wow.
A couple other guys were. Blake Dunn, I think.
Okay.
Here's the 1-1. Ground ball left side. That one will sneak through the hole between 5 and 6. Max Ferguson tried to retrieve it on a backhand, but it just beat him. Stevens will go to second, and Braden Ward now reaches first for the second time.
Yeah, Ward with a nice piece of hitting. Ferguson was shaded over towards second base to try to turn another double play, but it's poked through the 5-6 hole.
Matt McLean will now take his 4th AB of the day. He's so far 1 for 3, had a double and scored a run back in the first. McLean from UCLA, playing second base tonight for Wareham. Takes a fastball strike on the inside half. It's been pretty much exclusively strikes for Sutko. Only 1 ball that he's thrown. Has a strikeout and has allowed a couple of hits. This ball gets away from Nelson as he'll have a long run over towards the backstop, and both runners will advance a base. So breaking ball outside. He couldn't scoop it on the backhand. So Ward will take second. Stevens will take third. No double play in order for Falmouth, and still only 1 out.
It can really be trial by fire for some of these new pitchers on the Cape, and that's nothing to discount them, but they're getting these hitters when they're in full stride.
Right.
And easy for Wareham is probably the exception and not the norm for a new guy who's on the mound.
This pitch is grounded back towards short. The only play will be to first from Ferguson as the throw to Jackson, or to Taylor Smith, pardon me, is caught. Chorus of anger, I'll say, from Wareham as they thought that Smith came off the bag, but the out is made, and that's the second out with a run scoring.
And here comes Weinstein. He just wanted to make sure that these umps were talking, and now they will. All 3 of them come in together for a conference in front of the first base line. I wouldn't be surprised if this is overturned because the home plate umpire might have had a better view if the foot came off.
The Wareham dugout on the first base side definitely had the best view. Rosenberg was pretty much directly opposite them. And the safe call is made. So Matt McLean didn't move a muscle from first base, and it's warranted because after the mound meeting, looks like Ryan Damari overruled Larry Rosenberg. Safe is the call. It will be a run home for Wareham, and now runners on the corners with still only 1 out.
Yeah, and the reason I think that conference happened quickly and the call was made as a foul ball is back into the glove of Nelson was because the first base umpire, Larry Rosenberg, was over towards second base because they had shifted based on where those runners were. So he was making the call head on, but he couldn't see where that foot was, maybe as well as Damari.
Strike number 2 comes over the outside black. That's now 3 errors against the Commodores as they continue to play a little bit sloppy in these last couple of games. Oh, 2, broken back, ground ball towards short. Ferguson's only play is going to be to first. This time it's an accurate throw. Another run will come home. Back-to-back ground balls to the shortstop. But 2 runs score on them thanks to the speed with which they were hit.
Yeah, Gatemen comfortable right now with that 7-run lead. And one thing I'm noticing about Ferguson over at short, he just takes a little bit too long to throw the ball. He does a little bit of a shuffle with his feet before he gets it out of his glove hand, and I think that that's because he's used to playing second. But you see guys like Trey Cruz and Cantrell and Kendall, who is now gone over at short. They are getting that ball out of their hand in a hurry because it's a long throw over to first base, especially if you're back in the hole.
Durkee fouls away the first pitch he sees to make it 0-1. Pete, 3 for 3 with 3 singles and 3 runs scored. Talk about consistency for Durkee. Now 6 for 14 on the summer, well above 300. Here's the 0-1, just misses outside. Lone runner left on the base paths is McLean on second. He reached with an error. One from the righty Sutko to the lefty Durkee is grounded back up the middle, or excuse me, it's snagged up the middle by Sutko. I was looking into center field, and Sutko was already trotting over to first base. A 1-3 put out to retire the side, but Wareham scores 2 more runs on 2 more hits, 1 error against the Doors, and 1 runner left on base. We'll go to the top of the 7th, 7-0 in favor of the Gatemen on the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
Baseball Factory, a proud partner of the Cape League since 1994, holds over 1,000 events nationwide for players in both high school and middle school, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Baseball Factory alumni have played on every Division I college program across the nation, with thousands drafted and more than 500 who have made it to the majors. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness. Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod Coca-Cola has been proudly refreshing the community for 30-plus years, and we're honored to support the CCBL and many other wonderful organizations on the Cape.
What's donated here stays here. All blood that is donated to Cape Cod Healthcare stays on Cape Cod to help the lives of your friends, family, and neighbors. Learn more about donating blood, platelets, or hosting a blood drive at capecodhealth.org/blood center.
For sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit MiltonCat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game. Webb back out on the bump for the top of the 7th. Gatemen up 7-0 on the Doors in this final game of the regular season. Smith will start things off for Falmouth, followed by Moretto and then Tyler Ross. Doors have been silenced offensively, just 2 hits, both of them coming from Austin Maisel at the leadoff spot. Webb, the right-hander, working in the windup. He's got his cleat at about a 45-degree angle, settles on the mound, delivers, and it's swung on and missed by Taylor Smith. He's 0 for 2 with a flyout and a strikeout. Started the day in left field, now is playing first base. Takes a ball high, 1-1. Sun setting here, lights coming on at Spillane. 8:18 is your local time. 1-1 cut on and missed, and Smith right now just can't connect today.
Wareham fans clearly took the cue from some of the teams that this game wasn't much of a game. Pretty sparse attendance for the Gatemen on a rescheduled one.
Taylor wags the bat above that right shoulder, rocking back and forth in his batting stance. Takes another ball up above the helmet. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Webb stands at just 5'9", 175. Check swing, he went around. Smith knew it, he didn't even wait for an appeal. Goes down a strikeout victim for the 2nd straight at bat.
That's the thing with Taylor Smith. For him, it's either pretty much a hit or a strikeout. Very few of anything else in between. As you mentioned, 2 more strikeouts today. He now has 29 on the summer in his 59 at-bats.
Steven Moretto takes a first pitch ball. He has put the ball in play twice tonight. Grounded out to short. Flew out to left. Takes a ball outside. Now 2-0. Webb had some trouble finding the strike zone in the 6th inning. Allowed a walk, allowed a single, but then retired the 3 other batters he faced. Strike makes it 2-1. Commodores and the Gatemen 3 innings away from the playoffs. Foul ball chopped back and off a window. Two and two now. Webb settled back in the windup. Glove at his letters. Fires. Well high. Makes it a full count. The payoff pitch with one out. Just nicked foul back behind the press box. Gatemen winners of the 2018 Cape Cod League Championship. They beat Chatham in 2 games.
God.
Strike 3 on the outside, Black. 2 Ks for Webb here in the 7th.
It's a tough take for Moretto. That's a pitch that's well off the outside corner, but he's punched out anyway. A lot of times with 2 strikes, you got to widen that strike zone, and I don't think he was expecting to have to do it too much there. He's a guy who's been striking out a lot less recently. It was a problem of his early in the summer. Later, past about month or so, come July, he really was starting to limit those.
Strike number 1 at the knees to Tyler Ross. Interesting tidbit for you fans at home. Press box here called the John Wild press box as a ball misses low to Tyler Ross. In 1982, Wareham qualified for the playoffs in the Cape League, but didn't participate because they didn't have enough money. Grounded down the first base line and fell. They had lack of funding, and then the team nearly dissolved. John Wild came in, took over the franchise in '83, and they had a lot of success under his guidance. He was also their PA announcer, and the press box since named after him. Swing and a miss, strike 3. John Wild would be proud of that inning by Michael Webb. He strikes out the side, 2 swinging, 1 looking, as we head to the bottom of the 7th on the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network. Still 7-0 Wareham.
Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and software development. Online at www.curry.edu.
Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday. What's donated here stays here. All blood that is donated to Cape Cod Healthcare stays on Cape Cod to help the lives of your friends, family, and neighbors. Learn more about donating blood, platelets, or hosting a blood drive at capecodhealth.org/bloodcenter.
The Colossal Lobster Rolls are back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth for the best value for lobster rolls on the Cape. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Bottom of the 7th, Luke Sutko transferring to Mercer. Heading back out on the bump to face Adrian Del Castillo, Matt Rudick, and Trey Lipscomb. He allowed 2 runs in the 6th to make the lead 7-0 Wareham. Only one of those was earned. Interesting note, only 4 of the 7 runs today have been earned for Wareham.
Yep, 3 errors will do that for you.
3 errors will. No runs, 2 hits, 3 errors. Commodores won their most recent matchup against the Falmouth Commodores 2-1 in a game where they had more. Did they have more? No, they had more runs than hits.
Yeah, 2-1.
2 runs on just 1 hit. They won 2-1 against the Gatemen as strike number 1 comes into Dell. Ball number 1 is low. Am I allowed to say that as a non-Miami student? Can I call him Dell?
I'm sure you can. I mean, that's just like kind of an easier way of it saying Adrian Del Castillo,
right.
However many syllables that is.
I'm going to go with it. Swing and a miss, strike 2. He homered in the first inning. A 2-run bomb flew out to center and then reached on an error by Bradley Littleton. Sutko's now fired 20 pitches. Here's 21. Low and in the dirt. Nice block by Nelson. It's 2-2.
Well, Nelson, apparently the Florida State people call him Nelly. And I never got into that. I can't get behind that. Because Nelly, for me, I think of the artist or a girl name. I can't think of
I think of the artist.
Yeah.
I think I've only met one girl ever named Nelly. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Dell goes down by way of the K for the first time tonight. 1 down in the bottom of the 7th. Matt Rudick now coming up. He is 2 for 3 with a double and a single. Also flew out to right. That was a deep flyout, remember. Nearly snuck out of here and possibly could have been extra bases.
Good point.
Sutko delivers. Foul ball back into the screen.
Is Baron Radcliffe flashing the leather, showing a little pizzazz, making the jumping catch?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if he needed to, though. I think he just did it for flavor.
He's looked more solid in right tonight than we've seen in past games.
Yeah.
Ball misses outside from Sutko. Wareham Gatemen, as I mentioned, winners of the most recent Cape Cod League Championship. Trying to make it back-to-back seasons. Last year, they were led to a 6-0 playoff run. They swept Cotuit in the first round. They swept Falmouth in the Western Division Final. Swept the Anglers out in Chatham. To cap off a perfect postseason, Don Sneddon, second-year manager, got his first championship and then retired. Went out on top. 2-2 the count to Rudick. On deck, Trey Lipscomb. The 2-2. Sailed high and away to make it a full count.
Goes to the same pitch back-to-back, just can't quite find that outside zone. I think it's a backdoor breaking ball he's trying to get Rudick with.
The 3-2 put in play on the right side, fielded on a forehand by Austin Maisel. He sails the throw over, but it's snagged by Taylor Smith. A 4-3 putout. The first of the game for Austin Maisel. And he gets the out.
Yeah, he gets the out, but I think this is an experiment, throwing these guys at different places, just kind of seeing who can go where to sub in for different guys. Because now every single guy we've seen at a new position who doesn't typically play there has now had a little bit of pause.
I go back to what Katie said when she said they were just getting guys rest at those traditional positions. So I'm thinking out in left, probably Maisel or Langworthy as a 2-chopper goes under the glove of Tyler Ross and into left field. Trey Lipscomb is aboard with 2 down. And that one just snuck right under the glove of Ross at the hot corner.
Yeah, it was right on cue, but it's unfortunate because Ross has actually been really looking sharp at third base. I was really impressed with his glove and some of the agility he showed right along the line, fielding a couple of backhands. Unfortunate that that one beats him.
Here's Mike Antico with 2 down. Antico 1 for 3 today with a single, a strikeout, and a flyout. Takes strike 1 at the knees. Chad Stevens due up next. He grounded into a double play, singled, and struck out. The 0-1. Broken bat, flare shot into shallow left field. And this inning will continue as back-to-back runners have reached with 2 outs.
Seems just like 2 strike and 2 out hitting is the 2 out hitting especially is just the MO for Wareham. We saw them pour on all 3 runs in the first inning that they scored with 2 outs. Saw it again happen in the third, an RBI double coming with 2 outs. Last inning, all the base runners they got scored with 2 outs. This team just gets better when they have only 1 out to work with.
First pitch to Chad Stevens is a strike at the knees. He is 1 for 3, as I mentioned, singling with 1 out in the 6th and coming around to score. Gatemen trying to add some more here in the 7th inning. They already are up on Falmouth, 7-0. 0-1 just outside and low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Gatemen have piled on with 12 hits now, as the single from Antico was the 12th, and then error number 4 came on the ball off the bat of Trey Lipscomb. We've had an E5, an E1, an E6, and an E5. 2-1. Low and away, 3-1. Sutko trying to get through this 7th inning. Sean Mullen warming in the pen for the Falmouth Commodores. 3-1 is low and away, and it'll load the bases. Ball 4. Looked like smooth sailing for Sutko to start off the 7th with a strikeout and a ground out, but now he's got the bases juiced. And the leadoff man, Braden Ward, up at the plate.
And it just keeps getting worse for the Commodores. Again, trying to throw out whoever and not have a long game so that everybody can get some solid rest. So far, it's not sizing up to be that way.
First pitch swinging is Ward. He goes golfing and just gets a piece with the head of the bat, 0-1. Singled twice, scored in the 6th. Flew out to center to start off the bottom of the 1st and also struck out. The 0-1 rifled into left field, down for a base hit. Coming in to score is Lipscomb, and Tico will stop at 3rd. It's an RBI single for Braden Ward, 8-0 Wareham.
Wareham just continues to get pitches to hit, and even after a walk to Stevens, Ward is still looking for those pitches, and he finds one. Pushes it into the opposite field. That's something he does so well. Called him a slap hitter earlier in the game. A singles guy, and he's true to form today. 3 for 5, all of them singles.
Matt Nelson will come out to talk to Sutko. 4 base runners have reached in a row, and again, that is another unearned run because of the error with 2 outs. Now, half of the runs for Wareham have been scored because of errors. And Mike Landry's going to come out to the mound as well. He looks over to the bullpen and flashes for Sean Mullen. Mullen's going to come in a jam with 2 down and the bases juiced here in the bottom of the 7th. We'll be back after this on the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
What's donated here stays here. All blood that is donated to Cape Cod Healthcare stays on Cape Cod to help the lives of your friends, family, and neighbors. Learn more about donating blood, platelets, or hosting a blood drive at capecodhealth.org/bloodcenter.
The Falmouth Commodores would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
Baseball Factory, a proud partner of the Cape League since 1994, holds over 1,000 events nationwide for players in both high school and middle school, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Baseball Factory alumni have played on every Division I college program across the nation, with thousands drafted and more than 500 who have made it to the majors. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness. Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod Coca-Cola has been proudly refreshing the community for 30-plus years, and we're honored to support the CCBL and many other wonderful organizations on the Cape.
For sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit MiltonCat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game.
The Colossal Lobster Rolls are back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth for the best value for lobster rolls on the Cape. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Back in the bottom of the 7th, Wareham up 8-0, and they could add some more. Trying to prevent that is Sean Mullen for the Falmouth Commodores, reliever from UCLA.
Sean Mullen will be coming on for his 9th appearance. His ERA now at 8.25 after a tough outing at Hyannis on July 29th. That was in the 9-5 victory for the Doors. He entered a game that was 8-0, so it was just mop-up duty, and it came close. He allowed 5 earned runs on 5 hits, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, allowed 3 home runs in just 2 innings of work. All of those runs coming in the 5th inning against Mullen. So it seems like when he comes into some blowouts, he has a little bit of a tough time. Same thing happened at Bourne when the Doors were down by a lot. He allowed 4 runs in a third of an inning.
Matt McLean watches a ball downstairs. 1-0 the count to the man who is 1 for 4. A double, 2 flyouts, and he reached on an error. Fly ball into shallow right. Long run for Radcliffe. Back is Maisel, and he'll make the catch. Traditional outfielder goes into shallow right and ends the inning. Sean Mullen puts out a fire here in the 7th, but the Wareham Gatemen add 1 more on 2 hits, 1 error, and 3 runners left on base. 8-0 Gatemen as we go to the 8th inning.
The Falmouth Commodores would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
The Colossal Lobster Rolls are back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth for the best value for lobster rolls on the Cape. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
David Korzenowski joined alongside Danny LaRose for the top of inning number 8. And we bring in our very own Katie Florio to talk to us about something that fans maybe should keep their eye on as these games turn final.
Thanks, David. And here's something to look out for if you're a fan of this league. As of right now, Zach DeLoach is leading the entire league in batting average at .353. Nick Gonzalez from Cotuit is trailing him by just 2 points, but their regular season is over. And Max Triani from Orleans, he needed to bat 1,000 tonight to pass Zach, but he was not in their lineup and obviously resting for the playoffs. So everything should be official after tonight, but regardless of what happens, it is no question how great of a player Zach DeLoach is. The season he has had here, and we wish him continued success when he heads back to Texas A&M soon.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Katie. So Zach DeLoach at .353. That leads the Cape League as of right now. We don't want to speak anything into existence or jinx it too soon, but he edged out Gonzalez in a battle yesterday as though two guys went head-to-head. Matt Nelson ropes a single down the left field line. It's snagged by Braden Ward, and Nelson will, after a long turn, head back into first base.
Bro, that thing was a laser. He has been swinging a real hot stick. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Matt Nelson. He's probably been the best swing that we've seen these past couple of games for the Doors. He's a guy who has not lost that edge, and it's really starting to come into his own. Every single out he's had has been a long out or a hard hit one. Every single hit he's had has been a scorcher as well. He's going to be a great fixture in the lineup come tomorrow.
Commodores not named Austin Maisel were 0 for 19 until Matt Nelson just roped that single. And it could have been a double, but an outstanding route taken by Braden Ward, who slid out in the corner in left field, cut it off, and threw in a hurry. Max Ferguson takes a ball below the knees. The count now 1-1 to the left-handed bat from Tennessee. His teammates Trey Lipscomb and Pete Durkay added to Wareham. He's making his 3rd start in a row for Falmouth. Takes another ball at the shoelaces. 2 balls and a strike. Webb still on the mound for Wareham. He has yet to give up an earned run. Has allowed just 2 hits. There's a strike right down the middle, 2-2. Nelson is aboard. The Commodores still looking for their first run here in game 44. Remember, they're locked into that 1 seed in the West with a 27-14-2 record. Last year, the Doors finished in 3rd in the Western Division. Their record not as impressive as this season, as it was at 24-19-1. Finished with 49 points. Ball 4 misses low to Ferguson, and he's aboard, and Nelson's on second. They were just 1 point behind the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, who finished with 2 points behind Hyannis, who finished with 51 points. Commodores then edged out Hyannis in 2 games, winning both by just 1 run. Nelson's in scoring position. First base runner for the Commodores to reach second base. And the man who's been red hot, Austin Maisel, takes a ball outside. Single here could score a run depending on where it's hit. Nelson not with the most speed over at second. Ball skips in the dirt and past Del Castillo. Nelson's over to third. Ferguson is over to second.
So speaking of Hyannis, Reed Simpson, who was an intern last year with the Commodores, was a 2-time intern. He was doing some research. He's still a big CCBL fan, even though he's working a big shot job with the Texas Rangers down in Arlington, his hometown. But he was putting in some research, and he aggregated some information about some of the top teams.
Strike 1 to Maisel makes it 2-1.
And so what Reed said was that there are 2 teams that are objectively dominating the Cape League the past couple of years, from the last 4 to 5 years.
2-1. Skipped in the dirt this time. Nice block by Del Castillo to keep it in front of him. 3-1.
Since 2016, the Commodores lead the Cape in wins with 104. The YD Red Sox right behind them at 102. Wareham with 91, the only other team to reach 90 in those past 3 seasons. And he said the Harbor Hawks have been horrible. So I did a little bit of sleuthing myself.
Foul ball golfed back behind us to make it 3-2.
Because you can't just leave it at horrible. But in 2016, they were 17-27, ended their season on an 8-game losing streak. In 2017, they were 16-25, dropped the final couple of games in the season, finished 7 games back. Not sure if they missed the playoffs or made it in 2017.
Ball 4 high. Maisel flips the bat and heads over to first. 2 straight walks load the bases for Falmouth.
Looking back all the way to 2014, that's about 5 years, and 4 now of those 5. No, 6 years. What am I saying? 4 of those 6 years they finished under 500.
Perhaps none as disappointing as this season, though. Hyannis finished with a woeful 9-32-3 record. Next fewest wins, tied between Bourne and Brewster. They're going at it, so actually one of those teams will finish with 19 wins. Both right now with 18 W's on the summer. Time called by Jerry Weinstein. He'll come out to talk to Webb. There's a reliever warming in the Wareham pen. We'll see if they go to him. Weinstein looks like he's starting a conversation, so maybe a little question and answer right now with the right-hander from Rhode Island. And Falmouth in danger of, or I should say threatening to come back in this game.
Yeah, they're currently down 8. One swing of the bat could cut the lead in half, so you never know. Blake Dunn had a grand slam a couple days ago at McKeon Park, put the Doors up 5-0 at the time. Right now they're trailing by a ton, but all you need is that one swing and you gain some momentum back in your favor.
Home plate umpire Ryan Damari comes out to talk to Weinstein. Weinstein asks for a little more time and then jogs back to the dugout. They'll leave Webb in here as the infield disperses back to their positions. Teeter at first, McLean at second, Stevens at short, and Lipscomb over at third. Blake Dunn, the right-handed bat, who my partner just mentioned, went yard with the bases loaded against Hyannis. He's up as the Doors trail by 8. 8-0 here at Spillane Field. Big swing and a miss, and he was looking for the fence there. 0-1. Webb putting a little extra zip on the fastball. Here's the 0-1. Foul ball. No balls and 2 strikes to Blake Dunn, who is 0 for 2 today with a flyout. He's thrown out on a bunt and then walked. Swing and a miss at the upstairs fastball, 1 down.
Yeah, that was a letter-high pitch. He pretty much just reared back and said hit it, and Blake Dunn couldn't. He was also looking to deposit it into the seats out in left field. That was a home run hack if I've ever seen one from Dunn. Completely turned on it, And everything from his toes all the way up to his head had turned about a full 180 degrees as he was torquing his entire body to unload.
Jackson Coots 0 for 2 with a walk. Flares one into left center. Snagged by Antico. Tagging up is Matt Nelson. He will score without a throw. And the Doors have their first run of the ball game. It's 8-1 on the sac fly from Jackson Coots.
Again, Jackson swinging at the first pitch, and just like his first at-bat, gives it a ride, puts it into center field, and it's caught. He continues to show a great swing, a lot of line drives, but that one you're going to need to send it about another 100 feet to get it over the wall, or probably could have got it a couple other more feet to get it into the gap. Instead, it's tracked down in center field because it looks like out in center, Braden Ward has been getting to everything. Pardon me, Antico.
Radcliffe fouls off the first pitch he sees off his foot, so quickly 2 down, and Webb doing a good job getting out of this jam despite allowing the run. Now runners on just first and second with 2 down as opposed to bases loaded with nobody down. Webb from the stretch, the 0-1. High at the neck of Barron Radcliffe, who is 0 for 3, but he's put the ball in play every time. Grounded out to short, grounded out to second, flew out to left. Big lefty takes the ball outside. Radcliffe with that 247 average and swinging a great bat lately. 4 doubles, 6 home runs. 1-1. Rifled down the first base line. Nice reflexes from Ryan Eiley to jump out of the way. That one nearly took off his foot. 2-2, 2 outs, 2 runners on. Doors trail 8-1. Ferguson's on second. Maisel is on first. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Went with a pitch below the knees, and Radcliffe went after it. And the Falmouth Commodores are no longer shut out. They score 1 run on 1 hit. No errors, and 2 runners left on base. To the bottom of the 8th we go. It's 8-1 Wareham.
Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and software development. Online at www.curry.edu.
For sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit MiltonCat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game.
We are back. Bottom of the 8th, Sean Mullentoe in the rubber. Falmouth Commodores trail 8-1. Danny, take me around the Cape League.
All right, let's do it. First, we're going out to Bourne at Duran Park. That is the only game of the 3 that has concluded on the evening. The Bourne Braves, in their final game of the regular season before taking on the Commodores tomorrow, tied the Brewster Whitecaps in what will be their last game of 2019 4-4 because everything is stupid and ties exist. That is Brewster's second straight 4-4 tie in the last 2 games.
Wow.
I would be furious if I was them that the final 2 games that I would broadcast would be ties, because ties are the worst. Here, we know what's going on. 8-1, no big deal. Back across the bridge and all the way out into Chatham. It's the bottom of the 6th, and the Orleans Firebirds looking for some revenge on the Chatham Anglers, who just won the East last night. They're up 4-0 over Chatham. Last night, Orleans was up 3. Chatham scored 4 in the 9th to come back and win a walk-off game. So we'll see if Chatham can do it again.
Sean Mullen, the right-hander, came out with the bases loaded and 2 down. Got a pop fly into shallow right to end the inning. He'll start it off against Jacob Teeter. There's a strike on the outside black. So the playoffs start tomorrow, Danny, and Falmouth and Bourne will be the first game of the 2019 CCBL playoffs. Ball outside 1-1.
So, okay, because Wareham, they start play at 6:45.
6:45.
Chatham starts play at 7.
Yep.
And Orleans is also starting at 7.
Yep, they host YD.
Right.
Couple balls missed to Teeter, so Bourne and Falmouth at 6. Cotuit will take on Wareham here at Spillane Field at 6:45. Harwich and Chatham I'm excited to watch that series as the fourth pitch is swung on and missed to make it 2-2. That starts at 7 out at Veterans Field, and then YD taking on Orleans at 7 out at Eldridge Park. Fast forward to the game 2s. As the 2-2 misses outside. Falmouth and Bourne will be the last game to start on Saturday because of all of the teams that don't have lights. You got Cotuit and Wareham starting at 4 on Saturday at Lowell Park. Orleans and YD starting at 4. I think that they started an hour early to make sure that they get those 9 innings in.
You cannot play 8 innings in the playoffs. That is ludicrous.
3-2 snagged by a Wareham coach in the first base dugout, Full count still to Teeter. And then Harwich, this is maybe a head scratcher. They start at 5:30, even though they have lights against Chatham. Swing and a miss, strike 3. High fastball. Teeter went after it. He goes down with a K to start off the bottom of the 8th. But then Falmouth and Bourne, the one that all of our listeners will be tuning into.
Better be tuning into.
Please tune in. Duran Park, that will start at 6 on Saturday. Game 3s, if necessary, back at the home fields, back at the same times as those game 1s.
So there's your slate. If you're a visual learner, rewind and write it down.
Broken bat foul ball to start off the count to Pete Durkay. My D's and B's look so similar because I have terrible handwriting. And I looked and I was like, oh, that's probably a B, but it's a D. 0-1 the count as Mullen will wait for Durkay to get a new bat. What a night he's had. 3 for 4, 3 singles, also reached second on an error. Grounded out to the pitcher, but scored 3 runs. Mullen from the windup delivers a meaty fastball blown right by Durkay, 0-2.
Meaty fastball.
Yeah.
I like it. I haven't used that this summer.
Here's Mullen's 0-2. Fly ball down the line and left. It goes off the light pole and ricochets amongst the fans here in the bleachers about 50 feet to our left. Still 0-2. Durkay still at the plate. Left-handed bat from Tennessee. Where's number 28 for the Gatemen?
Oh, yeah.
Line drive right at Smith, and he makes no mistake. Catches it and flips it right on to Ferguson at short. 2 down.
He looked like a third baseman going around the horn. He was perched for that, staggered feet, caught it right around his eyes, and immediately flipped it on to his partner on the infield just to start it around. Looked like he was just getting a catch from his thrown partner.
Adrian Del Castillo started off the night with a home run, flew out, reached on an error, and struck out. He fouls back the first pitch fastball. About 24 hours from now, game 1 between Bourne and Falmouth will be pretty much decided as a high fly ball goes down the right field line, hooking foul.
That went right into the Wareham bullpen, and I'm upset because they put out their tiki torches. It looked like there was a barbecue going on in the Wareham bullpen because they lit tiki torches.
Did they?
Yeah, I swear.
That's pretty cool.
Right? That is brilliant. Little nice ambiance. I like the aesthetic.
The 0-2 from Mullen. Just getting a piece of the high fastball is Del Castillo. Oh, and 2 outs. Mullen swiping the rubber with his right cleat. Trying to work a shutout 4-out performance after getting tagged a little bit his last time out against Hyannis. He settles with the glove in front of his chin, moving, and fires. Ball outside. Couldn't get the swing. Mullins 1-2 to Del Castillo. Off speed, swung on and missed, strike 3. Had some ducking action right below the bat of Del Castillo, And he works a 1-2-3 inning in the bottom of the 8th. Commodores' last licks coming up in the 9th. The final inning of the regular season. Coming up after this, it's 8-1 Wareham on the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
The Falmouth Commodores would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and software development. Online at www.curry.edu.
What's donated here stays here. All blood that is donated to Cape Cod Healthcare stays on Cape Cod to help the lives of your friends, family, and neighbors. Learn more about donating blood, platelets, or hosting a blood drive at capecodhealth.org/blood center.
Top of the 9th inning. David Korzanowski joined alongside the dancing Danny LaRose. Trey Lipscomb will
throw
come.
me under the bus like that.
I've danced before. No, it's not bad.
While broadcasting?
Maybe, I don't know. Probably. Jesse's Girl Rings Out by Rick Springfield. I think I knew that one.
Okay.
I did know that one.
You did. You said it right as I said it. So okay.
Trey Lipscomb comes in on the mound. He moves from third to the bump. Matt McClain moves from second to third. Stevens is still at short. Teeter's still at first. Del Castillo still behind the plate. Ball 1 skips in low. I don't know who's at second, though. Number 11.
Darren Baker.
The old Darren Baker.
Yeah. Oh, it's gone.
Foul ball pulled way past the left field line and out of play.
Close.
Real close. It's Zach Mathis from LSU. Late addition to Wareham.
Oh, yeah.
Lunging and swinging is Taylor Smith. He grounds a ball down the third base line and foul. McClain and Brett Becker, the third base coach for the Commodores, in a conversation as this game is just about decided between Wareham and Falmouth. The 1-2. Off speed that misses low to Smith. Smith on the day 0 for 3 with a flyout and 2 strikeouts. Lipscomb delivers. Check swing. Strike 3.
Oh.
Late strike 3 call from Ryan Damari, but 1 down nonetheless.
It happens.
Here's Steven Moretto, who's also 0 for today with a ground-out, flyout, and strikeout. He was part of that 7th inning in which Webb struck out the side. There's a foul ball. Just out of the range of Jacob Teeter, the first baseman. Again, if you're listening now, be sure that you listen in tomorrow, 6 p.m., first pitch between Falmouth and Bourne. On the mound for Falmouth will be Carmen Majinski. On the mound for Bourne will be their ace, Mac Lardner from Gonzaga.
Oh, yeah.
High fly ball into deep left field. Back is Ward. He makes the catch with plenty of space, 2 down.
Every fly ball is a home run if you hope it is, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Moretto gave it a good ride, just not enough on it. Seems like we've been saying that a lot for the Doors. Had great contact early in the game, but it's hard getting a home run. Hitting at 350 feet is a hard task. I know a lot of people think it's easy, but they're liars.
Doors down to their final out. They stand at 27, 14, and 2. Foul ball from Tyler Ross. Makes it 0-1. Lipscomb did not pitch during his freshman year at Tennessee. He's going to be a sophomore next season with the Volunteers. Swing and a miss, strike 2. And the Doors are down to their final strike. These are the same 3 that went down in order in the 7th. Trying to keep this game going in the 9th. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That'll do it here from Spillane Field. Game 44 is in the books, and the regular season is in the books for these two clubs. The Commodores finished 2019 27-15-2. Wareham moves to 24-18-2. So an even 3 games ahead of the Commodores finished an even 3 games ahead of the Gatemen finished the Falmouth Commodores. And Danny, an 8-1 ball game didn't really mean a whole lot, and the Gatemen clearly looked like the better team tonight.
Yeah, they kind of just came out in front of the home crowd, played baseball like they always do. The Commodores shuffling guys around across the field, doing whatever they wanted. Pretty much just a cleanup game for everybody, getting those final reps in, and for a lot of the guys getting their final rest in before tomorrow. And tomorrow they're going to have to really buckle down and lock back in. And looking at today, you might think, hey, this team clearly doesn't have the mindset for it. But again, tomorrow's a new day, and I think they're just getting a little bit of rest before the real game start.
Similar to yesterday, not a whole lot to break down in today's game, but Maisel looked good. A couple relievers came in and impressed. I'm thinking particularly of Bradley Littleton. What are some positive takeaways for Falmouth going into the playoffs?
Austin Maisel is still awesome. I mean, this guy continues to rake. He was putting on some great swings on some really tough pitches. Good 2-strike hitting from him again as he caps off the day with a couple of singles to his ledger and a walk. Matt Nelson, I'm continued to be impressed by. He went 1 for 3 with a single. It was an absolute laser on the pulse side along the left field line. He continues to put together great swings as well. I know that he had a really tough summer to start off, was below 100 for a long time, but he has been surging recently. We saw him hit a home run a couple days ago, and now he's putting together a little bit of a hit streak. And yeah, the relievers also were nice, and I like Sean Mullen a lot, bouncing back from his latest outing where he really struggled at McKeon Park. He came into a nothing game, and you might have expected, another blowout game. He might have a poor performance, but he really impressed, and he was just fine.
The winning pitcher for Wareham in his first start of the summer goes 5 innings. That's Kevin Acey from Penn. He was awesome. For the Falmouth Commodores, getting the loss is Kenny House. That was his first start of the summer as well. 3 innings of work, 3 earned runs to his name. The Commodores drop game 44 by a score of 8-1, 8 runs on 13 hits. No errors for the Wareham Gatemen. 1 run on 3 hits, 4 errors for the Falmouth Commodores. Again, their final record in the 2019 season, 27-15-2. They are first place in the West. The Wareham Gatemen are second, and the playoffs start tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining us throughout this regular season. It has been a blast. All 44 games have been awesome to be a part of, and we thank you for making us a part of your nights wherever you may be tuning into. For my broadcast partner, Danny LaRose, and my sideline reporter, Katie Florio, as well as my outstanding producer, Maxwell Trink, I'm David Korzanowski saying so long from this outstanding broadcast and media crew here at the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network. Tomorrow, the CCBL playoffs start. Bourne Braves versus Falmouth Commodores. Tune in. Gov Fuller Field, 6 p.m. start.